In 2017, Bloomhouse founders Clara Korn and Emily Yell were working at a women's shelter together when a conversation about the lack of a homeless shelter in Emporia inspired an idea.
I just, in one of those like throwaway joke lines, said, well, just do it yourself. And then a couple of months later, she was like, I'm actually going to do it. I need your help. So I was like, okay.
Bloomhouse, a shelter for homeless teens in Emporia, was created after Korn found out that the closest shelters were in Tulsa, Wichita, and Oklahoma City.
It came out of being angry and surprised that there was nothing already, so we created one.
For decades, Bloomhouse was the location for SOS, a shelter for domestic violence victims. It was off the grid at the time for the safety of those victims, but now that Korn and her partners have transformed it into a homeless shelter, they want it to be easily spotted by teens.
We are continuing that tradition of offering safe refuge and shelter, but this time we are bright and neon and findable.
With their signature bright blue color on the door, fence, and glowing sign, the house is hard to miss. Korn also plans to plant blue flowers out front in the springtime to match the theme of the house.
But we wanted it to be symbolic of growth and hope and life, and so we thought of flowers, and so Bloom.
Before the house was used by SOS, it served as student housing for the College of Emporia. Now, the three-story building has created some of its own history in the process by memorializing those who have contributed to their message.
Ace's family is really a huge part of why we are here.
When Bloomhouse first opened, Korn and Yell were looking for storefronts as a temporary shelter until they could afford their ideal space. The realtor that spoke with Korn believed in their mission and bought the house to rent out to Korn for $1,000 a month. This realtor was Ace's father.
Ace died tragically very young as a teenager in a car accident, and his parents told us that when he had passed away, at his funeral and for days after, that kids were coming up to them and telling them about what an impact Ace made on their lives.
Ace's welcoming spirit earned him a special place in the house called Ace's Place.
He always had like a space for people to come who felt like maybe ostracized or sad, or they were going through something, and that his was always a welcoming presence around.
Another memorial in the home is dedicated to Yell's mother, who passed away in 2016.
She was very much a mom and grandma to anybody who walked in the door.
Grandma Sherry, as she was known, always welcomed those she met into the kitchen.
Somebody said that her love language was food, and I think that's the most perfect thing that anyone could ever say about her. When you walk in, she would say, "Hi, how are you doing? Are you hungry?" And then that's how every interaction with her would start. Designing this place, we were thinking about a way to honor my mom, and the kitchen really screamed, this is what she would want.
The history of Bloomhouse continues to grow as it has now housed 5 teens in the past 10 months of operation. Yell has already made long-lasting memories with youth in the area.
And when our first resident was leaving, she had an interview with DCF about reunification with her family, and when they asked her if she had any supports outside of the home, she said, I might cry. She said, Emily at Bloomhouse is like another older sister to me. And then she gave me a hug, and I was just crying, and it was the best feeling in the world. And I want to feel that all the time, so that's my new job.
In January, Bloomhouse celebrates 1 full year of helping those who need a safe place to land.